My husband said, "Please don't hate me," before I even knew what he'd done. Then he said her age, and I stopped breathing. I thought Steven was about to confess something financial, like he lost money or missed a bill. Something painful, but fixable. But he sat across from me at our kitchen table, pale and shaking, and said, "Her name is Melissa." I just stared at him, waiting for the part that would make sense. Then he said, "She's 19. My daughter Jennifer is 17. So when I heard that number, I didn't even feel angry at first. I felt sick. Steven kept talking like explanations could make it cleaner. He said Melissa worked at the fitness center. He said she listened to him. He said he felt old and invisible at home. Invisible. While I was working as an executive assistant, paying bills, tracking school deadlines, making appointments, handling groceries, helping our son Brandon through his anxious days, and keeping our family from falling apart in 100 quiet ways. He felt invisible because a 19-year-old smiled at him. I asked how long. He said 4 months. I asked if they slept together. He nodded. I asked if he used protection. That was when he started crying. Not when he admitted the affair. Not when he said she was barely older than our daughter. He cried because there was more. She might be pregnant, he said. I didn't scream. I just looked at the fridge behind him, where Jennifer's senior photo date and Brandon's dental appointment were written on the calendar like we still had a normal life. My husband was crying at our kitchen table because the teenager he cheated with might be carrying his baby. He kept saying, "You deserve honesty." But that wasn't honesty. That was fear. He wasn't confessing because I deserved the truth. He was confessing because the truth was about to come out without him controlling it. So I told him to leave. The next morning, Jennifer asked, "Did Dad cheat?" I said yes. She asked who. I couldn't say everything, so I said, "Someone younger." A few days later, she found his old tablet still syncing messages. She saw Melissa's name, searched her online, and found out she was 19. Jennifer looked at me and said, "She's basically my age." That was the moment I hated Steven most. Not for hurting me, but for making our daughter understand what kind of man her father could be. Then Melissa messaged me. She said Steven told her we were basically separated, that our marriage was dead, that I didn't care about him. Then she sent me a photo of a positive pregnancy test and said she didn't know what to do. Part of me knew she was young and scared. But another part remembered the messages where she asked Steven if his wife would make things difficult. She knew enough. So I wrote back, "Ask the man you chose." Then I blocked her. Everyone had opinions. Steven's mother said I was punishing an innocent baby. My sister said I was cold. My best friend said not every sad person was my assignment. Then the DNA test came back. The baby was his. Steven cried and said he was at the lowest point of his life. I told him I had filed for divorce. Because his lowest point was not mine, not Jennifer's, not Brandon's, and not even Melissa's. It was just the first time consequences finally found him. Jennifer refused to let him come to her senior photos. Brandon asked if he had to meet the baby. I told both of them they could decide for themselves. I won't force forgiveness just to make Steven feel less guilty. Steven still calls it one mistake. But one mistake doesn't last 4 months. One mistake doesn't become a baby, a divorce, and 2 children who can't look at their father the same way. That wasn't one mistake. That was a second life. And I'm done cleaning it up for him.